Today we'll be making a Pesto Rosso with a beautiful American lobster. Cold water, large, it's about 800 gram, fresh, beautiful color, nice and alive. It's done with a beautiful Pesto Rosso, which is a red pesto paste. It's sweet, it's fresh, the juices will come through the beautiful lobster, seasoning it with a sweetness and a crispness. So please come with me and let's go cook. My name is Shannon. I'm the executive chef at the Hilton in Singapore. Today we're going to be making a Pesto Rosso, which is a red pepper pesto. We're going to be using this little beauty here, which is American Lobster. It's a cold water lobster. Beautiful color, nice and alive, long antlers on it. Beautiful, beautiful quality today. For our ingredients for the pesto, we've got the cashew nuts and the macadamias, coriander, sun-dried tomatoes, roasted bell peppers, and we also have some Philadelphia cheese. For the mix to keep it fresh, we've got some lemons and limes, a saffron, a little bit of garlic, and this is a nice sweet paprika powder. So what I'm going to do first is chop up a lot of these ingredients, blend it together to make a paste. I'm going to split them in half, and then I'm going to rub the paste over the top of the lobster itself, and then we're going to bake them in the oven. For this size, we're looking at about 800 grams, so it's probably going to take around 15 minutes at about 180 degrees Celsius. So to combine all this together will be a little sweet, a little savory. With the flesh from this lobster will just go perfectly together. Very, very nice. So first what I'm going to start with is I'm going to make the paste. I'm going to take my sun-dried tomatoes and just cut them up roughly. I'm going to put this into a blender once I've cut them. I just cut them down a little bit. It helps them break down when you put them into the blender. I've got a red bell pepper, which you can buy already roasted, or you can put it into the oven, rub it in a little bit of oil, 180 degrees for about 8 to 10 minutes. Once it's done, you bring it out. You can put it into a bowl, cling film it, and let it just cool off a little bit until you can hold it by hand. And then once you've done that, you peel off the skins, take out the seeds, and you'll have what I have here. So again, I'm just going to rough cut it. After that, I've got some cashew nuts and some macadamia nuts. It's just crushed them up a little bit. I want to keep a little bit of texture, so when I blend it, I'll add it to it afterwards, just to bind it together so it's a little bit crunchy. What I'm going to do with the lemons and the limes is I'm just going to take a little bit of the zest from it. This we'll put into the pesto at the end before we put it on the lobster. This will give it some freshness and a nice zesty taste. We'll also do the same with the lemon. What I'll do here is I'll take our lime. I'm going to squeeze the juice into the saffron. And what we'll do is we'll let the saffron bleed out into the lime juice. It'll give a nice color to our pesto and a really great flavor. A little bit of garlic just for the savoriness. We'll put this into the pesto as we cook it. So first with the pesto, what we're going to do is blend the sun-dried tomatoes and the roasted bell peppers. Afterwards, I'm going to add my cashew nuts and macadamias, a pinch of the smoked paprika, a little bit of the garlic, and then by that time the lime would have bled out the saffron. That'll give it a nice freshness. We'll mix it together. When we put it onto the lobster, it's going to be fresh, it's going to be sweet. We'll put a little bit of Parmesan cheese over the top to make a lovely crust, and then we'll put it in the oven and we'll bake them off. Add the saffron and lime. I'll add some of my chopped nuts, Parmesan cheese, Philadelphia. Okay, so now I have my pesto mix. I'm just going to finish it off. A little bit of fresh garlic, a little bit of the lemon and lime zest, and we have a little bit of Parmesan cheese and some fresh coriander. So blending all the ingredients together, letting it infuse for 20 minutes. Nice, fresh, sweet, a little bit of creaminess coming through from the Philadelphia cheese. Very nice. It'll accompany the lobster beautifully. Very sweet. All right, so here we have our lobster. American lobster, cold water, white flesh, sweet, fresh. You can see how alive he is. Great quality today. Going to look forward to using them for our dish. So now what we have to do is put them to bed very quickly. Okay, so now that we have our beautiful fresh American lobster ready for preparation, what I'm going to do is put on the pesto, a little bit of sprinkling of Parmesan cheese over the top of it, into a tray, and then we're going to put it in the oven and we're going to bake it for about 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 180 degrees. Gives it time to get the pesto crust and also to cook the large claws that we have here. Just breaking the claws a little bit so it makes it easier once you've cooked it, just to break it open and pull out the flesh. Alright, so now that I've put my paste on, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, just a bit of a crust over the top, and we're ready for cooking. Great flavors, beautiful lobster, very nice dish. Alright, so here we have our beautiful American lobster. These here will be the densest part of the meat, nice and sweet. So we've baked our pesto, the juices will come through the meat. It'll flavor the meat nice and sweet. So what I'll do is just let it rest for a couple of seconds, just so the juices just soak in. And then we're going to put them on the plate them up and serve them. So this is American lobster with the Pesto Rosso. Try it at home. Otherwise, come down to Opus in the Hilton. We have it on the menu. Please enjoy.